Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here. I'm pretty excited. This is a Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. Check that hot rod out. And I've ridden lots of these, about a dozen of these. But the most I've ever ridden one is about 25 miles. And today's the magic day because the good folks here at Baxter Cycle have, they're gonna lend me this thing for a couple hours. I'm gonna go try to put 150 miles on it and see what it's like. The goal is to see if it's a comfortable bike to ride in that long of a trip. I want to take it on the interstate. I want to do some bunch of backroading. I want to see how this touring seat works. It's just a really nifty thing. Isn't that just gorgeous? I'm in love. All right, let's go have some fun. Wahoo! Okay, let's see what happens here. Ignition on, clutch in, kickstand up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looks like we got almost a full tank of gas. Let's zero out our meter. Trip A is now on 0. Let's go have some fun, guys. Wahoo! Very light feeling. It's got a little bit of a rake to it. I think that's why it has the quick steering. Of course, a very low center of gravity, or pretty low center of gravity. Decent amount of pull. 47 horsepower, 38 foot-pounds of torque. I think that's 52 newton meters. Okay, let's do a little bit of a spin test. Hey, there's the derailed grill. You ever get to Marnie? Check those people out. This thing just handles like a hoot. Very nice, very nice. The transmissions on these things are excellent, absolutely excellent. Fuel modulation is decent. Very good, actually. There's Baxter Cycle. If you're in the market for a new or used Royal Enfield or Triumph or British bike of any type, get a hold of those guys. BaxterCycle.com. Good friend of mine is always asking me how these bikes perform on gravel, and today we're not going to find out because I don't want to get the bike all dusty and dirty. Ha ha ha! Oh, look at that. Just nice, nimble handling. I love it. I love it. Here is our turn. No traffic around. Look at this thing. It just spins around in a dime. Just woohoo! Look at that. Just a hoot. Just a hoot. Let's see what the interstate does for us. Road speed without any problems. I love it. Sit back a little farther in the seat for some stability. We're just keeping up with traffic a little over 80. Picks up speed like a banshee. Very stable feeling. Okay, scenic overview time. We've gone about 40 miles of interstate, held about 80-85 the whole time. The bike did very well. It does have a 55-inch wheelbase, which means it can feel a little tweaky at times, but not bad at all. I was very comfortable with it. Is it an interstate bike? I think you could do it just fine. I would put wind protection on it. I was right out there in the open. You know, this is a flat motorcycle. The seat, the tank, they're about the same height. You really are in the wind. But as far as comfort goes, I liked it. It's not a soft ride, but it's not a, you know, it's not a pogo stick either. It's pretty good. As far as power on the interstate goes, I had plenty of it. I was definitely a player in the traffic game. I did not feel like a passive participant. Let's see what we got over here. Hey, we got a stop sign. Ah, the scenic overlook. This was closed for a long time. They must have got it rebuilt. I like it. Thing has good sound, doesn't it? Plenty of good pickup. I like the way it handles. It's very direct, very connected. think we're sporting Seat tires on this. I like it, guys. I like it a lot. This thing can dance. Brakes are decent. They're 320 millimeter in the front with a 2-piston caliper. In the back, I think it's a 240 millimeter. These are Bybri brakes. The back one is a single piston. Front suspension is about, I think the tubes are 41 millimeter. Normal tubes, and the suspension travel is about a little over 4 inches. And I think the rear suspension dual shocks with adjustable preload, I think we're about 3.5 inches on the back. I'll put it in the screen if it's something different. Look at that, right up to road speed, not a problem at all. 6 gear, 75 miles an hour. Wahoo! I love it. Alrighty, after all that interstate, we've hit some really nifty Iowa back roads. We're kind of in the Loess Hills area. Farm country for sure, as you can see. This little old road here was redone just this year, and I'm hoping that they haven't taken a lot of the character out of it. It's been a lot. It was a lot of fun to, you know, it had a lot of curves and unevenness and a lot of sport in it, you know, before they redid it. So let's see what they've done with it today. The motorcycle's been performing just like wow, you know, absolutely amazing. I've got some question about the mirrors on here. They seem to shake a lot, not vibrate, but shake. Like, you know, they could be a little more solid. Now I know Royal Enfield makes some good bar end mirrors, and I also know they make some really nice mirrors that mount here. I better drive here, huh? Look at all that gravel on the road. Wahoo! Gotta love it, gotta love it. As far as pulling goes, this bike has just been fabulous. It just does everything very well. This is just an all-around good motorcycle. You know, if you need a jack-of-all-trades bike, this is certainly it. Our fuel consumption on something like this is supposed to be in the 50s, I think. 50s or even higher. The bones of an old farm. So going back to comfort, I'm sitting on the bike, I'm leaning forward, I'm reaching to the bars. My back is at an angle, slight angle, not too bad. My heels are directly below my knees. I like the way it feels. It feels very sporty without being crunched over, you know. I'm kind of sitting up, but I also feel like I'm a race bike rider, you know. I got that forward slant. The frame of the Interceptor was designed by Harris Performance of England. That's a company that Royal Enfield does own now, and I would say that they did an excellent job. This bike is a example of many things together working very well. The frame works well. The geometry of the riding position and all that works well. The engine, I think it's a fabulous engine. The transmission, this is something I've said for years. The transmission on the Royal Enfield 650 engine is just a work of art. Very smooth, very good. It's a 6-speed box. It seems to work very well no matter what you do. You just twist the gas and it's got all kinds of pull. Look at that little dog leg in the road there. This is a great bike for backroading. It just eats these lanes up perfectly. Loads of power, all kinds of pickup. Beautiful, man, beautiful. This is a motorcycle that can really cut. You can really, really go good with this. I think it's gonna be a great city bike. I've driven this about 25 miles in the city. I was absolutely impressed with it. That little town ahead of us is Woodbine, Iowa. Let's go take a sneak through there and see what we find. Big truck. One of the things about this motorcycle that's really appealing to me, well, is its warranty. It's got a 3-year unlimited mileage warranty, and that kind of says a lot about Royal Enfield. Our fuel lights flashing. I am sold on the brand. I really am. Everything I've ever learned about them has just been good. I own a Royal Enfield Himalaya that I bought a year ago last October. This is almost December, and I just love that bike. I've had no trouble with it. I've got close to over 15,000, almost 16,000 on it, and it just has done me very well. And I like it. I like it a lot. This is really cool. Something I want to talk about real quick is the looks of this motorcycle. Absolutely gorgeous, I think. A very, everybody wants to call it retro 70-ish, or, you know, throwback to the 60s. And I think it's a modern, true modern, classic looking bike. It's, you know, it's got the air-cooled parallel twin. It's got the big side cover on there. It's got this beautiful shape and look, you know, the flatness at the top. These nice Royal Enfield bags on the back. Those are add-ons, by the way. But look at this, you know, twin clocks. Everything is chrome, and just, this is a touring seat. I think I mentioned that earlier. Very comfortable seat, by the way. I think they've just done a great job with this thing. The ride I've had this afternoon on this bike has just been a ball. I've really enjoyed it. It's a very comfortable, friendly, fun motorcycle. It certainly is fun. Nuts and bolts things about it, well, it comes with a center stand. You know, it's got great brakes. It's good brakes. It's got it's an oil-cooled, air-cooled engine. You know, it's got 4 valves per cylinder, so there's 8 valves total. It's the kind of thing I like to do all my own maintenance. This is the kind of bike you could do that on easily. I just can't say enough good about it. It's just a great motorcycle. Things that I would like to see different on it, I would use different mirrors on it. These blinkers, even though they're okay, I would put something different on there, I think. But I love everything about it. It's just a very good looking bike. Royal Enfield, you've done well. Wahoo! Ha ha! Let's go ride, my friends. Let's go ride. Howdy, y'all. Just rolled back into Baxter Cycle here. There's our hot rod, and boy did I have fun on it. I put about 129.5 miles, something like that, on it. Biggest thing I'd say, a couple things. One is I was very amazed at how comfortable this was on the 2-lane blacktops. I took 60 or so miles, 70 to 80 miles of 2-lane blacktop. Well, I was very happy with how it performed suspension-wise, both front and back. I didn't expect any trouble from the front, but I did from the rear. I've driven this bike a lot, you know, short rides, and it always performs very well. It's very nimble handling, very, you know, very good. But no, I was very impressed with that. Second would be the engine. The engine is 47 horsepower, you know, 650 with 47 horsepower, but it must have all of its torque right over idle, because it just always seemed to have plenty of go. Every time I turned the gas, it had, you know, it seemed like it was always in the right gear. And I think full torque is something like 2,500 or 2,800 RPM. That's right over idle. Well, no wonder it's got such good pull. The engine was very compliant. You know, it was always there for you. I knew the fueling was good. Like I said, I've driven this before. I always knew the fueling was good on these. And I'm going to go ahead and say that the engine is just, it was always there. You know, 2 hours of riding, 2.5 hours of riding, and it just always seemed to be in the right gear, always performed well, always did right by me. The next thing I'm going to say is the comfort. I was comfortable on this thing the whole time. I expected after a while I would feel like I was sitting on a board, but you know, this has the comfort seat on, and I don't know if that made a difference or not, but it really was very comfortable all the time. It just did it right. The ergonomics of this motorcycle, you know, the way you sit on it, the way you can slide back on the seat. I'm a fan of flat seats, by the way. And the upright bars, you know, even though you're leaning forward, the bars do reach up to you. I was very happy with all that. The biggest thing I think you should all know about this bike is how well everything works together on it. The suspension, the engine, the brakes, you know, it does everything pretty darn well. You know, handling, I was pleasantly surprised with how the back performed. I know that it's a very nimble and good handling bike in town. I've driven in a lot of town, you know, drove in Omaha, and it was just, you know, performed great. So I was very happy with that. The engine, you know, I always knew it had a good engine, and I knew the fueling was good. It's very good throttle control stuff, but I was just amazed at how the torque was always there. You know, a couple hours of riding, and it was always seemed to be in the right gear. And then the comfort, we talked about that already. But no, everything just works together very well. Would I recommend this to a friend? Yes, I would recommend this to a friend. I would recommend this to anybody. If you want a good jack-of-all-trades bike, or just a good all-around motorcycle, there it is right there. Great bike. Would I buy this myself? If I was looking for a new motorcycle with a 3-year warranty, 3-year unlimited mile warranty, I would buy this tomorrow. I really would. Conclusion, good bike. Quick caveat. Now, I would recommend this to anybody. You know, I'd buy it myself, all that neat stuff. And by the way, $6,000 for a new bike with a 3-year warranty. You know, that's my statement about this bike is true regardless of the price. Throw the price in on that, and it's just mind-blowing. Great bike. Hey, thank you, Baxter Cycle. If y'all need a new Royal Enfield or Triumph, get a hold of these guys, baxtercycle.com. They will do you right. Wahoo! Wahoo! We need a fuel station or we are going to run out of juice.